When I was young, I wanted to be an animator. I became entranced by the way it took thousands of hours of work and millions of frames to create one small movie. I would sit in front of the TV way too close and pause it thinking, someone drew this. Each frame was like its own piece of art hanging in a museum. I was ecstatic when DVDs had behind the scenes. None of my family liked to watch them, but I loved that you could see the hands behind the creation, the work behind the frames where we see each tiny movement of each tiny finger, how all this translates into something that looks so real in the way it moves. When one frame is set into motion with all the others, it becomes something alive and breathing for the world to witness. I became really interested in art and makeup when I got into middle school. I hardly showed anyone my drawings, and I never wore makeup to school, but I would spend hours painting either my face or a canvas. I would create each day with every color I could imagine. I watched countless videos of artists skillfully gluing on eyelashes over carefully painted eyelids, or cleaning brushes to dip into the next color of the rainbow. My parents would ask me why I didn't just skip all the nonsense and get to the end to see the final product. Early into high school, I got into theater. I quickly realized that I loved working backstage. I loved crafting a perfect set or lighting design for a show. I loved going to each rehearsal and watching the whole production come together piece by piece. When I go to shows, I pay attention to the set more than the actors. I imagine how each piece was built. I notice each lighting change. When my parents or friends would come to shows, I'd say, "Look, I painted that." Or, "Did you see the way the light changed there? I designed that." It became more of a joke than anything, as we all know people come to shows to see the performance, not the background. But after each show, it wasn't the performances I missed, it was the time spent getting to them. So when asked what my goal in life is, I think of me as a child, dreaming about animations long after my friends and family had moved on, imagining each frame painfully placed together for a movie that will most likely only be watched once. I think of me as a young teen, alone in my room, with a face full of glam, created just to be washed away. I think of me now, working months on a production for only 3 nights of performance, and I wonder, what are all those animators and makeup artists and directors prouder of? The time spent on the work, or the work itself? The journey, or the destination?